All right, got another question from a man here. He says, "Hey Ed, I seem to be doing well getting female numbers and getting a first date out of it. But that's usually where it stops for me." Okay, so you're having a hang up, and that's common. You'll get a hang up somewhere in the process. Either it's usually trying to get a number or trying to turn the number into a date, or can't get the first date to the second date, or can't get it to go into intimate periods, or you can't turn it into a relationship. Those are usually the hang-ups or the stopping points that guys have. So with that being said, it's great that you told me where the hang-up is because we can directly address it. Example, I met a gal on Sunday evening for drinks. I always try to sit at the actual bar so I can get close to the gal, and I'm able to touch her. It's a good idea. Building rapport with her. All right, get some pickup stuff here. While picking up the check, it seemed like we were getting along, so I asked her if she'd be interested in getting together this coming weekend. She said yes, so I told her that I'd reach out to her in the middle of the week. She said this was her first week going back to work. I walked her to her car, got a hug and a kiss out of it. I texted her when I got home saying, "Please let me know you get home safely." She texted me back saying this, "Okie dokie, will do. I had a fun time tonight too. Thanks for the drinks and a good conversation." I responded saying, "Of course, I enjoyed meeting you and our conversation." I texted her Tuesday afternoon about getting something set up for the weekend. No response from her. Yesterday I called in the afternoon and left a message. Still no response. I'm in my 40s these days. I'm divorced. I have a kid. So basically saying I have a set schedule. So the days I don't have my kid, I always try to get a date lined up for at least one night. But after the first date, it seemed like I get ghosted a lot and never hear from the female again. What's been working for you to build that rapport, to get the second, third date, and so on? Cheers. Okay, so I see a lot of problems here. Okay, so this is actually really good. I'm glad that you were able to show me so much detail here because this means you're going to be about to get your learn on. All right. So you're getting a first date. Okay, you meet a woman. You met a gal on Sunday evening for drinks. Okay, great first date. But step 8 of the coaching program, we go into exactly what you should be doing after that, okay? But I'm going to get into a little bit of that so you understand kind of what's happening. I always try to sit at the actual bar so you can get close to her. That's great. That's exactly what I say. While picking up the check, we were getting along, so I asked her if she'd be interested in getting together this coming weekend. That's where you failed. You don't ask for the date on the date. It's just a general rule. You want her to demonstrate that she likes you and comes to you in her own time. So whenever you start asking her and trying to get her locked down so early on, it comes off as desperate and that you need all of her time and attention. You want to give her enough space to follow you and have it be her idea. And when she's able to do that, she doesn't feel pressure, right? I know you're trying to get your schedule set up because you don't have a lot of time, because I remember it because that's exactly how I was doing it when I was dating again. You know, I had my son for 1 week on, 1 week off, and so I'd have to line everything up on the weeks that I didn't have my son. And so, you know, it was like it was hard to get everything done. You know, you have 3 dates that week, but then you need to go to the gym, and then you need to meditate, and then you need to go grocery shopping and clean your house, and there's a lot going on. So anyways, that's your first thing. Let her come to you a little bit more. She said yes. Of course she's going to say yes to your face. She's not going to be like, "No, I'm just not interested." Women don't want to hurt your feelings, so they're going to tell you things like this. So you got to look at her actions, and her actions are telling me that she's just not that interested in you. And I think it's because you're coming off a little bit too needy and too available to her whenever she contacts you. Okay, so let's go a little bit further here. You say, she said yes, so I told her I would reach out to her in the middle of next week. She said this was her first week going back to work. Okay, so already you're getting resistance, right? Women who like you make it easy for you. But she's saying it's not her fault, right? It's not her fault that she can't go out with you because she's got work coming up. So already she's starting to close doors on you. And that should be an indication right there. She's putting up barriers to making it happen. I walked her to her car and got a hug and a kiss out of it. So you didn't get anything from her. You share these experiences. We shared a hug and a kiss. You're not getting something from her. And that's part of the problem, is you're saying, I want to get stuff out of her. Their mindset is, I need to get from her because I am lacking in these things. Now, yes, if you don't have a lot of attention from women, you're going to say, yes, I am lacking in these things. And that's true. That is a true statement, but you're not getting something from her. It's not something that she's giving you as a gift. It's something that you share together as a couple. A connection is a sharing of intimacy, right? You're sharing all your hopes, dreams, and fears, and you come together as a couple. You're not just getting sex from her. Oh yeah, she gifted me with a kiss and a hug. I am curious if it was on the lips or if it was a peck or what it was. But one of the problems you did here, and you're not following the program, is you don't ask for the date on the date, And then when you do ask for a date, you say, when are you free? You don't say, and you don't do follow-up calls. You don't do these follow-up calls later in the week. And every time you do that, you create another barrier. You create another barrier. But you're doing it because you want permission, right? You want permission. Oh, I need to just make it easy for her. I don't want it to be too hard. And that's not how you do it. You just be unapologetic about what you want. So, but some of the words and the way you phrase it can help, right? Because it's designed to get the woman to decide on something. A lot of women like to sit in that uncertainty place because they don't want to make a decision. So when you say, when are you free, you force her to make a decision instead of keeping you in limbo, because you got shit to do and you need to go forward. So you need to know when she's free, right? So you can make the date. And then I texted her when I got home saying, please let me know when you got home safely. And she texted me back saying, okie dokie. Okay, so now you're doing what women do. Women do that typically. They're like, hey, let me know you got home safe. And I know why you're doing it. You're trying to be a nice guy. You're trying to show that you're different from all the other guys by saying, I care about you and I'm not just after the sex and all that stuff. Even though that's really what you want. You want a lot of that stuff. You're not being unapologetic about it. So you're being a little bit about a sneaky bastard in this. So you got to let that go. So you don't need to do that. You don't need to let her, in your texting, you're trying to find out, hey, come on, what's going on? You want her to text you back. And you got to look about the meaning, the question behind why you're doing this. Why are you trying to get this? Do you really care if she gets home safely? And don't lie to yourself and say, well, yes, I do. Of course you do. We all care about each other as humans to know if somebody's getting home all right. But last night she got home safe, and the night before she got home safe, and you weren't concerned then. Now it's changed. Now you want to know. So you're telling her that you're all up in her business, and you want to know what she's doing, and you want to know if she's being safe. And you're trying to be all protective and stuff like that. And she hasn't earned it. She hasn't gotten to a place where she earns that. All she has done is hung out with you a little bit and then put up one barrier to hanging out with you, and you're trying to turning it around by doing that. And that's just not what you do. You see, not doing anything is usually the strongest action for a man, because you should be going towards your purpose and let her come to you in her own time. The feminine seeks connection, the men achieve. So let's go further a little bit. Okay, you tell me about the text here. I responded again. Of course, I enjoyed meeting you in our conversation. She already knows that, but you're trying to talk to her more. You're trying to keep it going. And guys do this in the beginning. They can think that if they just keep talking and texting, that over time that you're trying to force the connection, and you're not. You shouldn't have responded at all. Actually, you should have never sent that text, please let me know when you get home safely. That should have never been, you should have never done that. That texting conversation shouldn't have happened. Again, follow the program, follow the framework. It's there and it works. It works awesomely, fabulously. You don't go wrong with it, trust me. And it's so much easier because now you're not thinking about what you need to do and what you need to say. You just follow the framework. And as you follow the framework, it just works for you. It works really, really well. And then I texted her Tuesday afternoon. Okay, so this is Sunday. So Sunday night, you're texting her. You waited Monday night. Tuesday afternoon, you texted about for later on. No response for her. Then yesterday, what day is this here? So then you waited till Monday, it looked like, afterwards, and left another message. That doesn't make much sense. But you posted the email on Tuesday. Okay, so I don't understand. Okay, so you posted. Okay, so this is, I guess, a week's been going on, and then you decided to send us the message today. Maybe this isn't a real thing that happened, because it sounds like this is an example. But anyways, yesterday I called in the afternoon and left a message. Still no response. And then you get into, you're in your 40s and divorced, and you only have so much time. Okay, so again, you're not letting her get back to you in her own time. Guys think that if she doesn't respond the next day or the next couple of days, that she's not interested. The problem is that when you do that, when you chase after her this way, you demonstrate that you're willing to go to heaven and earth, drop everything you're doing to hang out with her, and that's not the case. Even though you may not feel that way, that's how it's coming off. So what you need to do is just, on the date, you don't ask for the next date. You hang out, you hug and kiss. The most you should say is, hey, we had a good time. See you soon. Boom. End of the date. You don't text her or anything that night. In a couple of days, give her up to a week to text you back. If she doesn't text you back, then you hit her up. And then when you hit her up, you say, hey, I like getting to know you. We should hang out again. When are you free? And then If she doesn't answer that time, you've got like an 80% chance that she's not going to go out with you. But if you want to get it all the way to 100% if she's likes you or not, do it a third time or do it a second time. Wait another week, but I can guarantee you most of the time that's not going to happen. But sometimes, but that's the last straw, right? You've already done it twice. That's what's going on here. So you're demonstrating through your actions that you're she hasn't earned the right or the privilege for you to be catering to her in such a way. She needs to prove herself that she's a nice and honest and dependable woman. And then, you only protect dependable women. You don't protect, you protect everybody, right? As a magnanimous man, you want to protect everybody, but they don't get the special, she's my girl protection unless she's my girl. And she's not your girl there. She's just an acquaintance. And that's the problem. You're treating her like she's your girlfriend. That's all I got, man. I hope it's helpful. This was a long video. And you guys, let me know what you think. Should I have done anything different? Should I say anything different? What did I miss? Because a lot of the things, you guys are good at picking out the holes in what I'm doing. So there you go.